Captain Matt here with Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast about outdoor lighting and all the business associated with that, from landscape lighting to Christmas lighting to permanent soffit lighting. I'm your Huckleberry for all those things. So I am doing a training with the Lighting Trade School, Three Amigos out in California at the end of February. Check out lightingtradeschool.com for that. I do also offer personal mentoring across Christmas landscaping and or soffit lighting. And you can check out CaptainMattOutdoors.com for that. Also, doing a big Fact Map event. When you see this, it's probably this Friday to set goals. And I wanted to do another episode. I know, I think the last one or two podcasts, we've been talking about goals, setting them up, what that looks like, real, reasonable, radical, and impossible. But one of the things I want to talk about is, okay, we say I want to do $1 million, right? As an example, I want to do $1 million this year in top line revenue. Well, depending on the size of your business, let's pretend like that's a large number. It could be 10 million, depending on where you are at in business, right? Whatever that number is, I'm going to use 1 million because it's simple. I want to do 1 million. Well, when you look at that 1 million and you tell your lighting advisors or your sales team or your team, we're looking to do 1 million. And, your sales guy knows that it's January 20th and he's sold like $20,000 worth of work so far. It seems so unachievable. Well, it can seem so unachievable. So what is one of the things that I do to make it achievable, not just for my team, but also in my head, is I translate everything, right? For us in the outdoor lighting world, I know Christmas is off the table for me in this case, right? It's landscape lighting, soffit lighting. Well, in the last sales office, I had, these big 3 or 4 foot letters, and it said 13 lights a day. That's it, right? Hey, what's our goal? Not $1 million, or anyway, that was $1.3 million from that salesman, $1.3 million target. Hey, Bill, I want you to do $1.3 million in sales. Or, Bill, I just want you to sell 13 lights a day. That's your goal. All your bonuses, all your extras are all based around 13 lights a day. Which one's easier? Which one's easier for someone to latch onto because they know it sounds achievable? It is the same exact thing in that case, right? For what we had laid out at the time. 1.3 in top line revenue, $130,000 to the salesman is 13 lights a day. Right. That's what it related to. And you can do the same thing for soffit lighting or gemstones. Instead of saying I need to make, $35,000 or $40,000 a month in sales, how many gemstone jobs is that? Hey, I need to make, or permanent soffit lighting jobs is that? Hey, I need to do 7 sales, 7 gemstone jobs. All I need to do is sell 7 gemstone jobs a month. That's not even 2 a week. So you tell your team or yourself, your mind, I need to sell 2 permanent lighting jobs a week. That's it. That's what my goal is. Now I'm making up the numbers. I'm not saying that should be your goal. Your goal is yours. It needs to be personalized to you for your daily overhead and all that. That's another thing I do, right? I have my daily overhead number, right? I have the money game sheet is what I call it, right? It has the money that's in the bank accounts, receivables, which means money that's due into me, whether that's, I've already taken a deposit and I need to finish the job, or maybe there's a refund coming from insurance company or whatever the case might be. Then I have payables. That's money that I owe other people with. Maybe I have a net 30 with, the manufacturer on lighting. So I might not pay it right when I order it. So it's a payable. And I don't want to forget that I owe that money. And then so my main sheet pulls all that together, right? It says, this is what you have in your bank accounts. This is what you have in your war chest. This is what the money that people owe you still. This is the money that you owe other people still. And then the next line is leftover, money left over. And then for me, I like to do it by month. How many months will I stay in business if I make 0 sales based on my current real life actual numbers, right? So because I know for my daily operating, I also have a tab. Everything I pay goes on there, right? From the seltzer that I buy, to my insurances, to admin payroll, admin salary, taxes, all that jazz, right? So I know all that, what it cost me a month, what it cost me a year, and then my daily. And my daily is based on 190 operating days. You don't have 365 operating days, right? This is where you can really get killed. You got to keep in mind that there's not only other weekends, and there's holidays, and there's rain days, depending on where you live, there's snow days. There's all these things that are going to happen that you are not actually going to be in the field producing revenue. And when I say you, I mean you and or your team. So for me, with my weather and everything like that, 190 days is my goal. So basically what it does is it takes all the money that I'm going to spend in this year for my operating expenses, and it divides it by 190 basically. So I know that every day this is my number. So when I'm looking at a job, I don't need to say, oh, I charge this much per fixture, or I need to charge this much per foot. I know what my true minimum is, what my actual cost is, because the cost on the job is different than just product and labor for that job. During that day, you are not doing something else. So that day, that job has to pay for the daily operating expense of that day. Plus, every job we do, we need to actually make a profit. That's why we are in business. So that job needs to pay the daily operating, it needs to pay the materials for the job, it needs to pay the labor for the job, and it needs to pay the profit for the day. So I know when I look at a job, I know what my minimum is. So that is my bare minimum, what I'm willing to do a job for if I need to work it, right? Oh, it's a little bit slower, I need to get a job in. I still know instantaneously what that number is. There's no guesswork, right? I know, okay, well, maybe I can make $500 today instead of 1,000, or maybe I can make 1,000 instead of 2,000, or maybe, you know what, I really want this job. I like the location. I'm banking a lot on that producing additional referrals. Okay, I'm just going to break even, but break even is not material cost. Break even is daily operating. Break even is materials. Break even is labor for the day. That is a true break even, right? Because if you do a break even, I see it happen all the time. Guys do a break even job that they say, but all they did was actually charge for materials. Well, that's not a break even job. That you are literally paying that person to do that job. You are guaranteed losing money. You are offering to do that job and literally help them pay for it, right? So keep that in mind. You do have to pay somebody, whether that's you or a team member, to do the job. And then there's some sort of cost associated with doing that job outside of actually being on their lawn. There's insurance. There's all of these things. It has to be covered. No, none of your clients want you to go out of business. They want you to stay in business, right? Any contractor you ever hire, you want them to be in business. So if there's ever any issues or you want to add on anything like that, they'll still be there. So I don't want my contractor losing money on every job. I remember when I had my marketing company and I was working with a local float center, right, for marketing, hired me on, and we're going to run a sale. He said, "Hey, I want to run a sale," and I asked him, "Well, what are your numbers? What can that sale be?" And he said, "Well, take off $20 or something like that." And I said, "Okay, will you still make money on that?" And he didn't know the answer. So I said, "Hey, let's do this. Give me all of your bills, right? Give me everything you pay. What do you need for this? What do you need for that? What it takes you to operate that room for 1 hour." And so I ended up helping him, sitting alongside of him, and we built this out, and we found, even at his normal price that he was charging every day, he was losing $5. And he said, "Wow, this really makes sense of why my account really never goes up. It only goes down a little. It never goes up." And that's because in his mind, right, it made sense. That price is what other people were charging. And it's like, yeah, that seems good. $90 for an hour. That seems legitimate. That seems, good. But then when we took all the costs, now, of course, we can do some cost cutting measures, all that jazz. But before you even dive into that, what are your true costs right now? What's your ferry numbers, right? That's all the fairy dust of, well, I can cut this, I can cut that. I don't care if you can cut that until you do. What is your actual numbers? Because that's what matters. So that's why it's so super important. And I also made some pretty bad decisions from not utilizing this sheet myself in the years before I made it. I was really good at making money and really good at making sure that I didn't make any personal money, right? I just ended up spending it all because I saw money in the bank, figured I could spend it. Saw money in the bank, figured I could spend it without putting in all the other things that is going to happen, salaries and future payments and truck payments and tax payments and all of this. Now, when I harp on Captain's Crew members, uh, Money Mondays, doesn't matter if it's Monday or Tuesday, but as long as it's every week or every day, it's not about just operating only from that, but that's your baseline. That's your quick whoop. It's not your bookkeeper. It's not your accountant, but it's a quick, hey, I can check the health of my company super fucking fast. And what's my minimum? If I don't sell any jobs for 3 months, I'm still in business. Right? That's my minimum. Or is it 6 months? Is it 1 month? It all depends on the size and what you're looking to do. So that's for me. When I see something, if I'm under 3 months of 0 jobs sold, that's my red alert. That's my red flag. Oh boy, something's happening. We got to make sure we change this. So that tells me something's happened with sales. Something's happened with jobs taking too long. And it allows me to say, okay, quickly, let me check, right? Let me make a pivot right now. Instead of getting all off course and me at the end of the year and being like, why didn't I make any money? I sold so much. Well, now it's, oh, wait, what happened? Now I can tweak it in course. So if I was aiming for here, oh, I can't do it on the camera. It's all backwards. If I was aiming for here, right? And I'm going, my line was this. Well, not tracking anything, I can end up way down here. Or maybe I start going there, but because I'm tracking, I'm looking at, oh, I'm going to correct. Oh, I'm going to correct. Because that's realistically, it's never this. It's never a straight line up. It's a, oh, correct. Oh, correct. Oh, correct. Oh, I figured it out. Oh, broke it. Oh, figured it out. That's realistic. And you can't do that when you're only reviewing by the quarter and you're only reviewing by the year. You have to be able to pivot and keep at least a quick pulse of the company that you can reference every week, every day, just to know where you're at. So anyways, take what you're looking to make. What is your top line number, right? Well, forget about that. That's a whole nother score. But pretend, because that's what everyone says. I want to make this, even though it's not based in fucking reality. And it's not based on anything meaningful, just a number that sounds good. How do I know? Because I did the same thing. But you should have, okay, this is what it cost me to run my business. Okay. This is where I want to be. I want to make personally this much money. Okay. Well, now we can reverse engineer that. How many soffit lighting jobs is that? How many landscape lighting fixtures is that? How much Christmas money is that? Super easy to figure out when you have a real solid, not a fairy dust goal. This is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I really, 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 really want. Right? But you can base it off of those and have actual numbers. So instead of telling your team or your own mind, because our minds are just huge battlefields, instead of saying I need to make $1 million, hey, I need to sell 13 lights a day. Hey, I need to install 20 lights a week. Hey, I need to sell 8 soffit lighting or gemstone lighting jobs a month. Right? It's so much easier to achieve in your mind. And it's so much easier for you to look at and course correct. Now, I'll also say, like for me, right, it's not just something so black and white, this many jobs this month, because I have to be honest. There's a seasonality. Not that work is dead, but there's seasonality pickups and bumps along the way, right? So springtime is a bump. Summertime is a bump. Fall is a bump. Christmas time, if you're in the Christmas light industry, it's a to the moon, right? And then first quarter, okay, we're gonna die off a little bit. It's not anything besides we know it's going to happen, so we plan for it. I'm not going to say I want to sell 10 gemstone jobs in January if that is not reasonable. Is it reasonable? Could be. Maybe it's not. Depends on you. Depends on you on what you put into it. So, for me, right, my Marches and my Aprils minimums look different than my January and February minimums in terms of this is how many I want to do, because I have to be realistic. Here's my overall goal. How do I get there? Well, it's not as easy as it's this much every single month, because that's not being honest with myself of seasonalities of what happens in our industry. So for me, I just ramp it up and I make it make sense. So maybe it's, I'm just use easy thing, right? Maybe it's, I need to do 100 gemstone jobs this year, right? So I could do that across all 12 months, or you know what? I should do a weighted thing where summer is heavier than January and fourth quarter is heavier than all the others, right? So be realistic and be honest, but it all starts with knowing your numbers and then putting your goal and putting what you actually need to do in a way that your brain can accept it easily and not always argue with it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when your goal is like 1 million and you're 2 or 3 months in and you're at like 100,000, that can be such a self-defeating thing that you ensure that you never go further. But if you've already been honest about your seasonality and all that, and you break it down to this is how many jobs I need to sell, it's just so much more manageable for your mind to handle and achievable in your mind, right? Hey, man, I need to sell 10 jobs. That's it. All I need to worry about. Fuck everything else. Right now we're in January. This is what I need to do. December doesn't matter. February doesn't matter. This is what I need to do this month. Now, please note, I'm not saying those months don't matter, but I'm saying for your sales velocity, this is what I need to do this month, regardless of what happened last month and regardless of what's going to happen, the next month or last month. So do that, do it up. What's your 13 lights a day? What's your 8 gemstone jobs a month? What is it for you that makes sense, that allows you to fuel the fire inside of you and not get overwhelmed and defeated by some big number? Take that big number, make it feel easier. Watch how much easier it actually makes it for you to achieve. Anyways, this has been Captain Matt at Captain's Quarters First Class, podcast about outdoor lighting businesses all across the country. Let's go. Captain's Crew. You can check it out, captainmattoutdoors.com. Y'all have a great week. Go make some damn money.